President Trump has expressed surprise that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, or Meghan Markle, in her previous life as an American actress, made nasty comments about him. Sitting down for an interview with British tabloid The Sun ahead of his state visit to the United Kingdom, the president was asked what he thought about 37-year-old former Suits star having said she would move to Canada if he got elected. "A lot of people are moving here," observed the president. "So, what can I say? I didn't know she was nasty about me," he said. Markle, as she then was, endorsed Hillary Clinton and branded Mr. Trump misogynistic, and vocal about it ahead of the U.S. elections in 2016. "You're not just voting for a woman if it's Hillary. Yes, you're voting because she's a woman, but certainly because Trump has made it easy to see that you don't really want that kind of world that he's painting," she added. The president was charitable towards the Duchess even after hearing she had expressed a dim view of him, however, saying he thought it was nice to have an American princess, and that he was sure she will do excellently. "She will be very good." Despite the needling questions from The Sun, the president remained extremely upbeat about the state visit, on which he will be accompanied by his adult children Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany, in hopes they can hold a next generation with Prince William, next in line the throne after Prince Charles, and his younger brother Harry, Meghan's husband. "It will be great seeing the Queen for the second time," the president enthused. "We had a very good talk the first one. We had a lot of interesting things to say. It really was a great visit. My mother also loved the Queen." President Trump's left liberal detractors in Britain, who at their most hysterical have demanded he be banned from the country outright, often forget that his mother Mary MacLeod was a native of the Isle of Lewis, in Scotland's Outer Hebrides, and that he is therefore entitled to British citizenship by birthright. General Motors, GM, is exposing their distinct lack of patriotism by outsourcing manufacturing to South Korea while planning to close an additional 3 American plants this year after closing the Lordstown, Ohio plant months ago, America First Policy's senior policy advisor Curtis Ellis says. During an exclusive interview with SiriusXM Patriots Breitbart News Tonight, Ellis slammed GM CEO Mary Barra for her recent announcement that a slew of new vehicles will be manufactured in South Korea and imported to the U.S. While thousands of American GM workers' jobs hang in the balance. "That is called a distinct lack of patriotism," Ellis said of GM's plans. "It's called a distinct lack of consideration or gratitude after the U.S. taxpayers that bailed GM out. Here they are abandoning the country that made them great in the first place, allowed them to prosper. It's pretty disgusting. My philosophy is, if you can build it here, you should build it here whether we're talking about cars or TV sets. That's what other countries say." Emphasis added. "We've put out the globalist welcome mat for the globalist kick me sign and just let these transnational corporations take advantage of us, take advantage of the American people. This is the greatest consumer market in the world. Why are they not building the cars they sell here?" They said, their rationale for closing down the Lordstown plant was, "Oh well, that was making small cars and there's no market for small cars in America. So, we're going to make them in Mexico where they buy the small cars." Emphasis added Mary Barra. Now they have the lucrative segment of the market, the SUVs and the crossover SUVs, which they're clearly selling in America. The Buick Encore is made in China and they're shipping that to America to ship and sell in American showrooms. This has got to stop. If it takes a 25% auto tariff, I'm all for it. Emphasis added. For months, President Trump has been advised by informal economic advisors to impose a 25% tariff on all auto imports to protect American auto manufacturing workers and penalize multinational corporations like GM for sending their jobs and industry overseas. Ellis said GM seems to be unaware that the Trump administration has not sworn allegiance to the global economy and to the religion of free trade as past administrations have done, thus leaving the possibility open for the president to impose an auto tariff. "Maybe at some point, GM is going to realize that they're playing chicken with someone who just stripped the steering wheel off and threw it out the window," Ellis said. "And they want to keep tempting this guy. They're going to get whacked and they're going to get hit with 25% tariffs. They're convinced that they're still dealing with Barack Obama and Steve Ratner, and Austin Goolsbee, people who have no concern for this country and swear allegiance to the global economy and the religion of free trade." This is not Donald Trump, Ellis continued. And the auto tariffs are on hold for the sake of negotiations with Japan and perhaps the European Union. As Breitbart News has chronicled, Barra announced last year that GM would soon lay off 14,700 workers in the United States and Canada this year by closing down its Lordstown plant, along with 2 plants in Michigan and a plant in Maryland. Meanwhile, the corporation's production in China and Mexico has remained unaffected, much like Barra's continued annual salary of $22 million. American manufacturing is vital to the U.S. economy, as every one manufacturing job supports an additional 7.4 American jobs in other industries. Decades of free trade, with deals like the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, have eliminated nearly 5 million manufacturing jobs from the American economy and resulted in the closure of about 50,000 manufacturing plants. The Crime Prevention Research Center, CPRC, unearthed information showing the site of the Virginia Beach shooting was a gun-free zone for city employees. CPRC reports, Virginia Beach bans employees from being able to carry guns. In addition, while it was indeed possible for a civilian to enter the operations building where the attack occurred, the operations building, as its name suggests, was a building where virtually only employees would be in. This incident comes just months after in Aurora, Illinois, attacker opened fire in Henry Pratt Company, which was also a gun-free zone. The most heinous of high-profile shootings have been gun-free zones. Those shootings include Lone Star Bar and Grill, November 7, 2018, the Parkland High School, February 14, 2018, Orlando Pulse Nightclub, June 12, 2016, San Bernardino, December 2, 2015, Umpqua Community College, October 1, 2015, Lafayette Movie Theater, July 23, 2015, Sandy Hook Elementary School, December 14, 2012, Fort Hood, April 2, 2014, DC Navy Yard, September 16, 2013, Aurora Movie Theater, July 20, 2012, The Fort Hood, November 5, 2009, and Virginia Tech, April 16, 2007, among others. CPRC examined mass public shootings for the time period of 1950 to May 2018 and found that 97.8% of them occurred in gun-free zones. Yet Democrat politicians respond to these shootings by pushing laws that make it even harder for law-abiding citizens to be armed to shoot back. A group of New York City theater companies is set to hold a 24-hour reading of the Mueller report this weekend at an event called Filibustered and Unfiltered, America Reads the Mueller Report. The theater company hosting the event described it thusly. Beginning at 8 p.m. on Saturday, June 1st and continuing for 24 hours through Sunday, June 2nd, we the people, American citizens of all ages, backgrounds, and political persuasions will read aloud and listen to the entire redacted Mueller report. Filibustered and Unfiltered, America Reads the Mueller Report, presented by DM&DR, New Neighborhood, and Slightly Altered States, will take place at the Arc, 3630 36th Street, in Long Island City, Queens, one of the most diverse communities in the United States and the birthplace of President Trump. The event is the brainchild of director Jackson Gay, according to the New York Times. The purpose of the politically charged project is to offer the audience a voice. It's not meant to be a performance, Gay said. It's meant to be a bunch of people coming together and finding their voice. We shouldn't just sit back on our couches and let other people tell us what to think. It's really just about our responsibility as American citizens to read this thing that we paid for, Gay said. More than 100 people will be volunteer readers, the paper reported, and the event will also include music and special guests. The recipients of the proceeds from the event reveal the political nature of the staging, with the left-wing groups Ray Ice's Texas and Cara Family Detention Pro Bono Project as beneficiaries. Robert Mueller addressed the nation on Wednesday and offered some clarity about the Justice Department investigation into whether Trump or members of his campaign conspired with the Russian government to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. Though most of what the former FBI director said sounded similar to the conclusion he laid out in his final report last month,